Love is the most mysterious and beautiful feeling a human being can experience. It comes suddenly like spring rain, washing our souls with new emotions and experiences. But what if this apparent spontaneity hides the deep psychological mechanisms that govern our choices? Carl Jung, the great psychologist and student of Freud, devoted years to the study of the human psyche and came to a surprising conclusion. People fall in love with each other for just two fundamental reasons. And if you understand these reasons, you can not only unravel the mystery of human relationships, but also learn to build them consciously. Imagine an ordinary situation. You meet a person, and between you instantly there is an inexplicable chemistry. It seems to you that you have found a soulmate, someone who understands you without words. But Jung warns, very often this feeling is just an illusion, a game of our subconscious. The fact is that our psyche is organized in such a way that we unconsciously project our inner ideals and expectations onto other people. In each of us lives the so-called anima. For men, or animus, for women, an unconscious image of an ideal partner formed by our childhood experience, culture, books, and movies. When we meet someone who even remotely corresponds to this image, our heart starts beating more often. But the paradox is that we fall in love not with a real person, but with our own fantasy about him. That's why so often passionate love at the beginning of a relationship is replaced by disappointment when we begin to see our partner as he or she really is. This is a painful but necessary process, the moment when the rose-colored glasses of projections are shattered by reality. However, if we realize this mechanism, we can avoid many mistakes. We can understand that true love begins exactly where our illusions end. But there is a second, even deeper reason why people fall in love. Jung called it the shadow, that part of our personality that we don't recognize and often repress. These are our forbidden desires, unexpressed emotions, hidden talents, or even vices that we hide from ourselves. And the amazing thing is that we are often irresistibly attracted to people who embody these repressed qualities. For example, a calm and reasonable man can lose his head from a passionate and emotional woman. Why? Because she represents a part of his personality that he has never allowed himself to manifest. Or another example, a serious and responsible woman suddenly falls in love with a carefree artist. In him she sees the freedom and ease that she has never allowed herself. This explains why we sometimes fall in love with the wrong people. Those who knock us out of our rut, make us suffer, but at the same time causes an inexplicable attraction. Through such people, our psyche tries to restore the lost integrity, to reunite with the repressed parts of ourselves. But herein lies the key to liberation. If we dare to recognize and accept our shadow, we will stop looking for in others what we need to find in ourselves. So how can we build healthy relationships knowing these psychological laws? The first step is to ask yourself an honest question. What exactly is it that attracts me to this person? If the answer sounds like he's so caring, and I've always dreamed of such an attitude, most likely this is a projection of your ideal. If the answer is he's so free, and I've always lived by the rules, it may be your shadow, your unlived part of your personality. The second step is to learn to see and accept a man as he really is, without embellishments and illusions. And the third most important step is to work on your own integrity, developing in yourself those qualities that you are so attracted to in others. When we stop looking for in a partner what we lack in ourselves, our relationship moves to a qualitatively new level. Love in Jung's understanding is not just an emotion or a chemical reaction. It is a powerful tool of self-discovery, a path to our own wholeness. Every infatuation, every love affair is a mirror that reflects our deepest needs and unresolved inner conflicts. And when we realize this, we have an amazing opportunity to transform our relationships from a game of subconscious forces into a conscious, deep union of two integral individuals. But the most important thing to remember is that love doesn't have to become an escape from ourselves. True intimacy is born when two people, already established as individuals, meet not to fill a void, but to share their fullness. Such a union does not limit but liberates. It does not absorb individuality but enhances it. Interestingly, this mechanism works not only in romantic relationships, but also in friendships and even in professional relationships. We often choose friends and mentors who reflect our hidden aspects. This explains why we are sometimes so attracted to people who are completely different from us. Through them, our psyche is trying to complete the process of individuation, becoming a whole person. Jung also noted that the more we suppress some of our qualities, the more intense will be our reaction to people who manifest these qualities. That is why forbidden fruit always seems sweet, and bad guys and femme fatales have such an attractive power. Our unconscious seeks balance, and if we consciously deny something in ourselves, it will look for it externally. Practical tip: the next time you feel a strong attraction to someone, stop and ask yourself, what part of me responds to this person? Perhaps it's your inner child longing to be cared for, or a rebel dreaming of freedom. Recognizing this point is the first step to a healthier relationship. Ultimately, the secret to a happy relationship is simple. True love begins not when we find the right person, but when we stop looking in others for what we need to find in ourselves. This is the main wisdom that Carl Jung left us. Wisdom that can change not only our relationships, but our entire lives. If you enjoyed this video and want to dig deeper into the psychology of relationships, be sure to subscribe to the Great Quotes channel. Here we regularly publish interesting breakdowns, quotes from great thinkers, and practical tips for self-discovery. Click on the bell so you don't miss new episodes, and write in the comments, what psychology topics are you most interested in? See you in the new videos.